Podcast with Jensen Maydew, Tony Caranco, and your host, Wes Underwood.
And welcome into the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jefferson's. Chiefs win, so do you. 50-cent wings after the Chiefs win. And Robert's Integrative Dentistry in Joplin. Ready for a whiter and straighter smile this holiday season? From now until the end of the year, they are taking $250 off the Invisalign treatment, and it does include retainers. So, also, $50 for their glow whitening treatment. That's pretty cool. I mean, glow includes both in-office whitening treatment and a take-home kit. So, get your appointment today at 417-622-0404. I mean, it's like $300, $450, something like that for I don't know. That's a lot off though. Wes Underwood,
cool.
Tony, Jensen, welcome back, guys.
Hey.
That'd make a good Christmas gift. How much you say that was?
$250 and then $50. I think total it's like a $450 savings because I think their glow whitening is quite a bit, but they're offering $50 off, and I think they're taking off a little bit more too by giving you that free take-home kit.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely worth getting. But before we buckle in, make sure to hit that subscribe and follow button. And we got a good one once again for y'all. And here we go. So we'll get right to it. Ghetto Tacos NCAA football talk. Top 25 back this week is promised, and the final four are in. Bama at 4 will take on number 1 Michigan, the supposed alleged cheaters. And then number 2 Washington will take on number 3 Texas. A lot of thoughts on Georgia being booted for Alabama, and not number 6 and undefeated Florida State. I mean, I don't know. Are you guys upset with that? Because I feel like Florida State should be in there. I really do. They shouldn't be at number 6. They're undefeated. Bama won the conference, but I mean, Florida State's still undefeated, so Georgia and Bama should have both been booted out. Do you all agree with that, or do you like where it's at, or what?
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I feel like they earned it. They haven't lost a game. I feel like that's like the classic, like Bama is known as a football school, so they just automatically get like a shoe-in no matter what.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel bad for Florida State.
Yeah, a little
Right. I mean,
gypped.
it's tough, right? I think that I don't think we should be mad at the fact that Bama's in there. I think we should be mad that there's not enough teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I honestly do think Alabama is a better team. So and it is the 4 best teams that make it, right? I think the playoff structure sucks.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing, right? But I think they should have done what they're going to next year a lot sooner.
Yeah.
So I'm not so like, even though it is upsetting to not see them at least get a shot at the playoffs and at the actual national championship, the only people to blame here is the NCAA for not moving the playoffs to be a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think it could be said for the University of Central Florida back in 2018-2019 season when they went undefeated as well.
Yeah.
I mean, a solid team, absolutely. But again, I don't think they were the best team that year either. Like, I mean,
the Seminoles have been in the top 10 quite often, and then even in the top 5 at that. I think they would have benefited from a top 4 shot.
No, I'm not saying they wouldn't have benefited. I think they may have done just as good as Bama. I'm just saying Bama's better, in my opinion.
I mean, all around, Bama's going to always be better than the schools that don't make it in. But, I mean, again, next year we'll get to put our money where our mouth is, and we'll get to see 10 teams in there. So,
right.
We'll see.
Yeah. I just can't imagine, though, being, like, I get your point, Tony, but I can't imagine being on Florida State's team and being like, we didn't lose a game. Like, I would be so mad, like, as a player.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get that. No, like, I'm not saying that, like I'm not saying that that you're wrong for feeling that way. I'm just saying our opinions are gonna, still be different, but we should be mad at the NCAA for not just making an actual playoff schedule, years ago, right? So it's
True.
I think it's really 50-50, and like I think Georgia should be in there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Georgia should be in there.
Oh, yeah.
So they could replace pretty much any of the other teams in there, besides Bama, obviously. But like, I'm just saying, like I don't know. So obviously, I don't think all the four best like they got screwed. You know what I mean? So
Washington's a top 5. I'd like to see how they do, and then we'll see where they're at. But I mean, that's unfortunate that I say it
right.
that way. But I mean, that's gonna be how it is. I think Michigan's gonna beat Washington, but
But have they ever got the playoffs right? You know what I mean? Where like, technically all 3 games are just as competitive. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
always a huge like lopside. And I feel like that there's a lopside to it because they were doing like little Mickey Mouse, playoff contenders, like TCU. They went in there last year and got their teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
Right. So like even though they were undefeated, right? Like
Yeah.
but they just like so like just because like they're giving them a make-a-wish for their program, like it's to me, I just don't think that's like right now. I don't like the structure. Should Florida State get a chance? Sure, but that's not Alabama's fault either.
True. Valid. Other news: Missouri got the Cotton Bowl, which is first on the slate of the New Year's 6 games as they take on Ohio State. Kansas will get a guaranteed rate bowl versus UNLV. All right. Okay. Number 15, Louisville gets the DirecTV Holiday Bowl against USC. That could be fun. K-State, NC State at the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Yep. I'm probably gonna
Little
eat some
Mickey Mouse
Pop-Tarts
Bowl.
while they're bowling there. Sure. Why not? Sounds good.
Well, what's your favorite flavor of Pop Tart?
I go the apple cinnamon.
I was Mexican. We grew up with like not name brand stuff, so like the chocolate one was the one I like.
So like the Great Value.
Like the Great Value stuff. Yeah, that's
That's
why.
like I think that's the only off-brand of them.
No, there's some other like at Aldi's you may find some every
Oh,
once in a while. At least
I
you used
guess I
to.
wasn't cool to shop at Aldi's back in the day.
I'm just saying like there's more options. I'm not like I went to Aldi's.
I'm gonna have to look into that now. Hey, if the Kelsey brothers can talk about Captain Crunch and cereals, let's go ahead and talk about Pop Tarts. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
What I really want is some cinnamon toast crunch. Personally.
Yeah. Actually, that sounds good right now too. The
really
cinnamon toast crunch Pop Tarts. Try those yet?
No, bro.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
They did cereals this last year, I believe.
Huh.
It was within the last 2 years, but I did try one. We had
Have you
them at
tried their
school.
bars? The cereal bars?
No, it's
They
the
sell them
Pop
at gas
Tarts.
station?
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
Those
Yeah,
are
that's
fun.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, bars are good. What's your Pop Tart?
Mine?
Me?
Yeah,
I like
Jensen. Sorry.
I'm a blueberry gal. Or cherry.
I did the wild berry. Wild berry was always fun.
Oh yeah, that's the purple one.
Purple blue. Yeah, purple blue red. Something
Feeding
like
us all these chemicals that are gonna kill us later. Super
that.
cool.
Probably.
We're
I
all
mean,
gonna-
do y'all
Childhood.
remember the colored ketchup, like
Oh
purple,
yeah.
green,
Yep.
The Shrek
yellow?
ketchup?
Shrek ketchup.
Bro, I never tried it
Oh man.
because like I was I don't know. My parents weren't gonna eat it. And it's not like we ate ketchup very much. we were Mexican, so we made our own hot sauce.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why not use what you guys know? I mean,
Right.
I went store brand. I never had parents that like were home all the time, so they always bought us the weird stuff at the store to keep us entertained, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Best choice.
best choice. Great value. Members mark.
Like the whiskey?
No. Yeah. 8 years
They got
old.
you and your-
8 years old, sipping that whiskey down. Yep.
They got you and your brothers some whiskey.
Yeah. No. More like back then it was like wine for them. We didn't have it, but that's all they had around the house. So,
Right.
but OU, they make it to the Valero Alamo Bowl. Okay. Arizona, they'll take on Arizona. It's going to be a fun Christmas break and good New Year. I mean, a lot of good games, a lot of teams that I actually want to watch. I mean, there aren't like out there random weird teams. It's a bunch of teams that you know. So,
Like Villanova and stuff.
yeah. On the basketball side, anyway. But next up,
Right.
we go ahead and talk NCAA basketball, and we'll talk USC and Bronny James. Just cleared to resume basketball activities last Thursday, and after a 4-month journey after his like catastrophic cardiac arrest, I mean, like out
His
of
COVID
nowhere.
cardiac arrest.
Yeah. USC medical staff has said he will resume playing and return to the games soon after. So practice was yesterday. The game is Sunday. What are your all's thoughts here? Too soon, or do you think he'll be all right?
I mean, he's young,
True.
so
19,
luckily,
19, 20.
yeah. I mean, a lot of other athletes didn't get away with getting the vaccine, so lucky, so
Yeah.
good for him. I'm glad he's back, and hopefully it's not too soon.
Yeah. DeMar Hamlin, we'll get to see him in Kansas City this weekend. He's back. I think he
Yeah.
got injured or something. I don't remember.
He's been out pretty much all season.
Yeah. Yeah, he missed quite a bit.
Yeah,
Any
but
thoughts?
on the Bronny subject, I feel like he'll be fine. I don't think that someone like Bronny James with the family that he has, I don't think that they
And the
would
resources.
I don't think they would willy-nilly just throw him in there if without like the best doctor's opinions,
They threw out a weird, this is so off topic again, but I saw the picture today and we're on the topic of Bronny and the James family. Did you all get like that picture of LeBron's foot saying this is such and such years of playing basketball on the court, and then his foot's like all jacked up where his pinky toe's up by his like, I don't know, like top, not even where it's supposed to be.
I did not see that.
It was
No, I
stretching.
mean, Jensen, you played basketball. Did your foot ever get hurt like that bad?
I mean, I played basketball, but not LeBron James basketball. No, my feet
I
are
mean, but you played since you were a kid.
yeah.
Like,
No.
I feel like that photo was probably construed or something. I mean, it was a credible source. It was like one of the top magazines. I don't remember which one it was. I was just like scrolling through, but
They were foot shaming LeBron.
Not Wes looking at LeBron's feet pics.
it like
That's a little
popped up. I was on Facebook and like this weird thing just pops random crap up all the time. It's like, all right,
is
cool. I don't know. Whatever. Next, we go ahead and head to the NFL and we'll talk the Bills and linebacker Von Miller. As of now, the Bills are planning on having him in the lineup in Sunday's matchup against the Chiefs. This after he allegedly assaulted a pregnant woman during the team's bye week. The Bills GM said we weren't there. We're not the investigators. That was from the GM. And then he also said, we don't obviously, we had our conversations with Vaughn and understood what he believes what he believes happens so far. And then from that standpoint, we can't get into it. It's an open investigation. Let's see. And then the legal process, we'll let that play out too. And he'll participate like normal in practice. And I mean, he turned himself in. He's charged with third-degree felony assault of a pregnant woman, which is punishable by 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. I mean, I'm genuinely confused by this. He turned himself in, like I mentioned. He's been charged with the assault in the third degree, which means he admitted to laying his hands on a pregnant woman. he knowingly caused her pain. And then how in the world is he getting to play, in my opinion, as well? Because, I mean, he had Ray Rice lay his hands on a woman. He was out the next day. He got banned. And then you had Kareem Hunt assault a woman in Kansas City on video, and he was let go and suspended before that. You had other guys do this also, and they were suspended or let go by their organizations. And, I mean, they have proof. The lady was on the phone as she was being assaulted, according to last week's article, anyway. And then they have a warrant issued. And I mean, how's he playing, though? I mean, your all's thoughts here. Do you agree, disagree? I mean, that seems like quite a bit of evidence.
I'd say the way that you put it, yes, 100% he should be not playing. But the fact of the matter is, even though they're charging with him and he turned himself in, there's a warrant out for his arrest. So that's what he has to do. So
Yeah.
him turning himself in isn't an admission of guilt.
Maybe.
So I'm not saying like he did or didn't do it. and there may be, the NFL knows all the details. I'm sure that, so even though, again, they're not the best judge of character,
Yeah.
like they've been pretty consistent about, that, the that kind of like treatment for that kind of behavior, right? So
Yeah.
I think they know more details than we do, and maybe he is innocent or less guilty than we think, right? So like, it's just obviously the media is going to report it as a Von Miller slapped the bejesus out of his woman, but who knows? Maybe she was like throwing stuff at him, hitting him, maybe trying to stab him. Who knows? We just don't know the story, right?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
So that's probably why, he's probably giving a whole different side of the story. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just, with him putting up a whole different side of the story, they probably feel better about it.
And
About
I'll
him
put it
actually
out there. I love Von Miller. I love everything he's about. When he signed with the Bills, I thought it was a great move, and I've never had any disrespect for him as a player. But I mean, this right here, whatever comes of it, right now, I'm kind of skeptical.
Right. And I think anybody would naturally feel that way. I'm skeptical about it too. I'm just saying, like, if they're letting them play, they know something we don't, right?
Yeah. Guess
You would
that's
hope
true.
so.
Yeah. Indeed. Hope so. But more fights to come as last up in the NFL, we talked 49ers and Dre Greenlaw and the security guard who was ejected after his confrontation with the linebacker after a tackle made by him on a fellow player in Philadelphia, and that was DeAndre Swift, not Taylor Swift. As you all saw him being tackled, the security guard popped into the action and shoved Greenlaw, telling him that was BS, man. And then Greenlaw threw his hand forward and told him to back off in different terms. And while grazing his face, they both got ejected for the confrontation. And later this week, they apologized to each other. And for getting that out of hand, they also apologized to the league. The league is also continuing to pending further review on that, but I mean, do you think they should let it go since bygones be bygones, or do you think this is going to be drawn out and deserved?
I think they should just let it go. I mean, I feel like football is an intense sport, and like sometimes we get caught up in our emotions, and I think that could be what happened. And I feel like if they apologize and they're cool, then I don't think that the organization needs to get involved any more than like being ejected out of that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's just dumb. I feel like why is the NFL looking into this, but then our last topic, like, so something I don't know.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, no, that is actually kind of ironic.
It's weird.
But yeah, I mean, I think if they both agree to like, hey, let's just, hey, sorry, like, cool, whatever, go from there. I do think the security guard shouldn't have touched him, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, but screw it, it happened. You know, at this point, if they both agree to, if they're cool, you know, and no one has to lose their job over it,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. You know, if anything, they may fine whoever tackled them, but they'll fire the other guy. So
Greenlaw, yeah.
right. You know, so like, I would think it would be BS if they both if either one of them got let go or
Yeah. Yeah.
fined for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, Philly ain't letting go of that guy. He's like loved by everybody up there. So
That's what I'm saying, right? So like, obviously they're not going to let go of him. They'll let go of this blue collar guy. That's well, maybe not blue collar, but I don't know,
yeah.
some sort of color.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Kind of
Yellow
looked
color.
green. Kind of looked greenish colored to me when he got in there. But
It looks a good
Philadelphia.
color.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we talk NCAA women's basketball, and we talk Iowa State. Or man, I did it again. Iowa's Caitlin Clark, and as she scored her 3,000 point in her career, 15th player in women's Division I to do so. Wednesday also marked the 41st time in her career that she has scored 30 points in a game, extending her lead from most of any Division I player over the past 25 seasons. That's on the men's and women's side, so that's pretty impressive. The 6-foot senior guard reached 3,000 points only in her 110th career game, the second fastest in Division I history behind Patricia Hoskins. And among the players to debut over the past 25 seasons, Clark is also the fastest at 3,000. It also happens the last player to reach 3,000 points was Iowa State's Ashley Jones, and who did so during the Big 12 tournament in March. Jones finished her career with 3,060 points, and she was an AAU teammate of Clark's. Clark is now at 3,013 points for her career and could pass Kelsey Plum as the all-time scoring leader in NCAA era since 81-92 season this season. And Plum, as you all know, two-time defending WNBA champ. Yeah, aces there. So, but thoughts there? Jensen, we'll go you. That's pretty impressive.
So impressive. Whenever we were talking about this earlier, I looked up Kelsey Plum's points, and it says 3,527 points. So
Yeah,
she could definitely do it. Clark could.
She's a junior, right? Clark?
Is she a junior? Let's see.
No, senior. Okay.
I think she's a senior, but
Man,
then
she's gonna have to hit a lot of threes this year.
but she's already like on. She already just had another 30-point game. So
I know.
no, you never.
I mean,
And Iowa, like their offense, like she is their offense. It's not like she's fighting, and it's not like she's fighting another star on their team for points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to share. So
It's true. Very true. Tony, you got to give credit when credit's due on this one. That's men's and women's there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's the fastest on pace, right? That's what you said? Like,
Yeah.
that's like the fastest pace anybody's gotten there. Yeah, technically, if she's on pace, she'll destroy the record, right? Hell, she may get to 4,000 points.
Honestly, I hope so. That'd be awesome. That'd be really good for the sport too.
Yeah, yeah. What do you guys want to put money on if she makes it to 4,000 or not?
I can put a chocolate chip cookie.
Jensen, who won that bet last time?
I don't even remember our bet, but I probably won.
I don't remember what it was
she
either.
did beat her dad, so that's pretty credible to possibly beat you. I don't even remember what it was over.
I think it was the Chiefs over somebody, and I think the Chiefs lost, actually.
We're gonna have to go look through the tapes.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think she'll get 4,000.
No.
So
Okay.
if you're saying she will get 4,000, I'll bet you on that, Tony.
Okay.
Okay, what are we betting?
Pop-Tarts.
Name brand Pop-Tarts.
Urban Bird. I'll send you money for some Urban Bird, or you send me money for some Cadoba.
What?
Cadoba.
Why not one of
Sounds
our
good.
sponsors? Jefferson's is better than Qdoba.
Out of all the places you're gonna pick Qdoba?
That just sounds good.
I mean, okay, deal.
I mean,
It doesn't
Chipotle,
matter. I may
Moe's,
change my
Taco
mind.
Bell.
Deal.
You don't
Okay.
like Cadoba? You guys hate Cadoba that bad?
Oh yeah. Ever since they got rid of their like good stuff, I have not been back there.
What did they get rid of? I didn't know they
The
had anything.
they had the spicy queso and chicken together, and they won't put them together anymore because someone got their mouth burned because they were not smart, and yeah. So they don't combine them anymore. They say they can't do it, and I'm like, really? But I did like
Crap.
that chicken. I did like their spicy chicken, and I did like the spicy queso. But
So you're more mad at the
other than
management.
that, it's average.
It
You're
is
mad at-
average.
They do have at Jefferson's. They do have like Urban Bird. You know how they have like the mac and cheese, the fries, and like they stack it all up. They
Ooh.
basically have that at Jefferson's.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, whenever we did the interview with Brian,
yeah.
remember?
That thing was
It-
phenomenal.
Yeah. I need to go back.
Yeah,
So
it's
why don't you bet?
definitely on my Christmas list.
What's that?
So why aren't you betting that? You'd rather bet Qdoba.
Sure. It doesn't matter. It'll fluctuate.
Rock, paper, scissors at the
Depending
end.
on the mood.
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here. Over 4,000, Tony gets money.
Well, we'll come back to that.
I get money.
Is there going to be
I'll-
a spread though? Like within like so many points?
We'll work out the details later.
All right.
Dun-dun-dun. Yeah, all right.
I bet there is a bet in Vegas for that.
Probably. I would not doubt it. Everything's there right now.
I'm gonna go to Kansas just to make that bet.
Stable style.
That's right.
All right. Lastly, before we get to our interviews.
Kansas.
Yeah. Lastly,
sports
before
betting.
we get to the interviews, talk Missouri sports, and Tony, you and I were talking about this one. We'll get Jensen's thoughts in on it too. But I mean, football in general is really where this one lies. I mean, there's some for private schools, which is the topic we're going to be talking about here. For basketball, occasionally, but majority of the private schools usually play each other in basketball because they're typically all in the lower brackets together for those because they only field enough players for that team and they're not that big of a school unless you're in like St. Louis or Kansas City, but other private schools in smaller towns typically are usually in the lower brackets. But anyway, football state championship games and private schools should have a separate bracket from the public schools when it comes to playoffs and state championships and all that stuff. And I mean, I know this has always been a big issue since like the late 90s when more and more private schools started coming into the picture. Sometimes it's a very clear and obvious difference in matchups, but you get local teams from Southwest Missouri or Southeastern Missouri and just Southern Missouri in general who don't have as big of talent pool because you got all the people that are up north, and then you do have some kids down here though that transfer in and they're like super good. The teams get to where they need to be and then they go get dominated by these private schools because I mean they don't have depth like the private schools have, and I mean they pay to go there, they pay people to come in. I mean, again, St. Louis, Kansas City Metro, I mean, you can afford to do that if you've got the sponsors and the stuff to do it. And I mean, it's just throughout the season that stuff like that happens. And sometimes you even end up playing them during the season because sometimes you got to find that team to come in and play you. But I know the argument a lot for Joplin back in the day was when they had to play Rockhurst in the districts, and Joplin would always at least win one, but they guaranteed a loss to, at the time, Rockhurst because, I mean, you had running back Drew Temple, who ended up going to Mizzou and being a big running back there. And they had a bunch of D1 talent that always got taken out of that school. But I mean, Tony, Jensen, what are your all's thoughts here? Tony, I mean, you can do Missouri side, and then Jensen, did you see it on the Kansas side? Is there a Kansas aspect to that?
No, I think that's soft as hell. Honestly, no. In my career, whenever I was in high school, we never lost to a private school. So, and we played private schools in the playoffs, in the state championships. You know, MICDS, big private school in St. Louis. We beat them.
Yeah.
Jesse, Helias, Westminster. I mean, there was a lot of schools, and Rockhurst, like even after I was gone, in like the 2014, 2015 season, they played Rockhurst and beat them. So like, no, I think that's just an excuse. Like, I'm not like, there's a lot of,
Well,
there's
I
a
will
lot of
say on that season, they just lost their coach. That was like the all-time winningest coach for that area up there. And then they got Donahue from Blue Springs, and he took a few years, but he's back in stride now. So,
Right. Well, I don't know. I just see that as another excuse. I mean, I legitimately thought we would have been able to beat, you know, every other team in the state at least, who we
yeah,
played whenever we were playing. Like I thought we were that good, but we didn't have to recruit. So I'm not saying it's not possible. Obviously there's a lot of we had a lot of hidden talent on our team,
yeah,
that well, not even that hidden, but we had, we were young but very talented,
yeah. You guys were depth
um,
for sure.
for sure. Yeah. But everybody just was dedicated to working hard, and I don't think you get that. I don't think people get the commitment that Webb City football players put in.
Yeah,
So,
very true.
maybe we're just an outlier to but I think that's soft. I think you can expect more out of your children, and they can definitely step it up and be competitive. Nonetheless.
Yeah. Jensen, what about the Kansas side? Is that kind of an issue that's been brought up for football teams, or?
To be honest, I'm not. I mean, so whenever I was in high school, it was my senior year when the state of Kansas decided to like switch around things. So in Kansas, 1A, I don't know if it's the same in Missouri. 1A is the smallest schools, and then 6A is like the biggest schools.
Yeah.
So the school that I went to was a 4A, but we had so many 4As in the state of Kansas
Uh-huh.
that like we had 64 teams. So all the other ones, they had like 32. So finally my senior year, they split it like small 4As and big 4As.
Okay.
So that made a huge difference because we would like make it to state and we would get killed the first game by like a school that had double the amount of students that we had, but they were still considered 4A. So I
Sure.
feel like that evened it out, and that happened my senior year, so 2014.
Wow.
So I think since then it's gotten better. But we have private schools that still kill everybody. Bishop Carroll. Um, there's just big name schools that you know that they're good. So,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that they haven't ever gotten beat before. So I kind of agree with Tony on that, but
Okay.
I don't know, it just kind of sucks. I think private schools suck in general because it just like kind of gives like the privileged kids more of a upper hand. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I think they should allow recruiting from on the public school side. That would definitely even out the thing, like even it out so much more. I
yeah.
mean, it
oh
would
yeah,
suck for the kids like who grew up in that town wanting to play there, right? But like it would definitely make it a lot more competitive. And
yeah.
with the new NIL, situations
True.
and the transfer portals, like in college, I mean, I think it's only a matter of time. I'd say within the next 10 years, we're going to be seeing that.
You're
Yeah.
you're not gonna you're not gonna let that one go, are you? I mean, rightfully so, but you're very on for that one. I'm in the
Absolutely.
middle, but I could go both ways. That's where I'm at.
No, I think they should, man. If you're selling yourself, selling your personality,
Yeah.
yourself as a person, like you're likable, people are making money off of you. I mean, if you ever played in a high school, basketball game, football game, whatever, you
Yeah.
brought money into that school, whether you like it or not, whether
Yeah.
it was just your parents or it was, your parents, your family, and then just a community that loves to support you.
Yeah.
You're bringing in money for that school, whether you like it
For
or
sure.
not. Yeah, but we've never brought that conversation up, and I think it's fair at the least. What I
Yeah.
mean, like at the very least, it's fair. I
Yeah.
think we should we should learn how to, compensate people, if they're actually making money and they actually have a personality they can sell. So
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
I agree. I'm on board. On
So
that
you're
note,
not on the fence anymore?
huh?
You're not on the fence anymore?
No, I can see that. I mean, like you said, NIL, once that really happened, I mean, that was a big stepping stone, and I think high school should kind of just take into that. I
It
agree.
made college football more competitive.
It did. I mean, transfer portal this year is going to be super active. OU's quarterback, he's already out again, and I'm sure Rowdy's upset about that one, losing another one, but
But I feel like we can't even get shot clocks in high school,
ooh,
give let alone give the kids money.
shot
So
clocks.
I think we need shot clocks in high school personally, but
I don't like that they took them away. They had them here in Missouri for a little bit.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if we can't even push shot clocks, then like how can we push all of that money, like giving that to kids, you know?
Yeah.
People are
I
greedy.
mean, I think people are going to end up. I mean, because like technically the rule used to be you can't accept money because the NCAA doesn't allow you to accept money. So if you wanted
Yeah.
a career in the NCAA or go further your studies in the NCAA, they wouldn't. That's why you couldn't be receiving money because it was a college thing. You know what I mean? Now college is doing it. Then why the hell shouldn't high school, athletes that have a good personality do it? They get
True.
let them get sponsored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody wants to sponsor them to help them out, maybe it's somebody who does need a little bit of extra help. Could it be a bad thing for some people? Yeah, I think so. But you know, I think it'd be more fair.
Yeah.
I think it would make athletics more interesting, a lot more competitive, and I'm all for that.
I agree. I think it would too. Kind of like how the SEC format and the COC is now. So,
Right. I mean, they pretty much like. I mean, the COC is pretty much the SEC of Missouri. They've kind of monopolized all the good teams. And I'm not saying there's
see
not
Coach Poke. See, people are saying it. I'm not the only one.
what. Did you say the same thing?
Yeah, I said it when we were talking in the interview with Carl Junction head coach because they're getting ready to leave to go the OMC, and I was like, I
Oh, the
said, be
JV.
honest, do you think it's kind of like an SEC situation now? And he said, yeah,
Right.
because it's the best of the best,
Right.
especially for football. But basketball is going to be pretty competitive too.
See, I still think that was super soft of Carl Junction to do. In my opinion, they've had good teams. You know what I mean? So it's not
Yeah.
like they don't. It's not like they don't have the resources or, the thing. Or the athletes. You could say like they definitely have athletes. They have one of the best, if not the best, wrestling team in the state of Missouri.
Yeah.
So they have athletes, right?
Yep.
So I mean, there's something else going on there, and it wasn't the conference, in my opinion.
Yeah. And we bring in Joplin Eagles head girls basketball coach, Mr. Brad Cox. How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good. Just got home. It's my first night that I'm not getting home past 9:30, whether it's having games or my kids have games or
Man.
my high school girls have games. So gonna
Yeah.
enjoy get a little laundry done tonight.
Buckle in because it's probably your last one for a while, huh?
That's a fact. That's a fact. We got a busy schedule coming up. 3 games next week, 3 games this week, 3 games
Yeah.
the following week, and we'll take some few days off over Christmas to recharge our batteries and be ready to push through January and February.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we kind of recap last season, start off 1-3. You get to the Lady Eagle Classic, win a game, 2-3 on the season. You end up with a 2-game streak at that point, and then kind of turn a little. Senior Bryn Driver goes down. Team's leader. What was your initial thought in that moment, and how do you handle those moments with the team after that happens?
Well, my initial thoughts with Bryn and her family. I tell the girls all the time I care more about them about being a person than a basketball player.
Yeah.
My thought was with her. She put in so much time and effort. And then I had to immediately I had to try to refocus the team, and the team understood what Bryn meant to our team, and I felt like Izzy Hughes did a great job stepping up and doing her best.
Yeah.
What a wonderful young lady. I couldn't ask for more than anything more from our seniors of last year, but it is what it is. It was, good litmus test to kind of see where we are as a basketball program. And, frankly, we're not there yet, and sometimes if you have a misconception that we're something that we're not, then you're never going to get to where you need to be. So our first season, we said our motto was turn the ship.
Yeah.
But we really weren't even out to sea yet. That was more of me finding the navigation of where we needed to navigate things and how to do things to improve this program. And, our motto this year is all aboard. And I told the girls it's either time to get on the ship or get off the ship. The ship's leaving port. We know where we're going. We know what we need to do, and we're going to get there. So.
And then y'all finish that season 4-23. Reflecting on that first season as a head coach, what were the main lessons you learned, and how do you plan to apply them going forward?
Well, just making sure all your prep work is done in the off season, and not to make excuses or anything. At that time, I was still on the football staff, so trying to balance both of those. But we've been working our tails off ever since we've been able to have contact days in the spring. Through the summer, we've used every contact day, every contact hour we could. Into the fall, we've had girls working, and it's showing improvements. When you lost Brand last year, how do you break a man press? Well, you clear out. Well, every team pressed us, and we weren't very successful. The last 2 games, teams pressed us, and we broke it just like putting butter on bread. I mean, it was nice, smooth. We're able to get that, and so that's the major improvements. For us, and it's just major planning, getting the girls' skill level up where it needs to be. It's just not where, and we're still not quite there, but we're working our tails off. And like I tell the girls, if you work hard every single day, you have nowhere else to go but up. It's just that simple. So.
Yeah, you start off 1-3 last year. Y'all currently sat at 1-1 before the Lady Eagle Classic began this week. Where's your team's mindset going into the tournament?
We're ready to go. Had a good practice today. We have a pretty big test with Blue Valley West. They're returning quite a few players. But at the same time, like I tell the girls, we're good too. We've averaged only giving up 30 points a game. Now we're only averaging just over 30 points a game, so we got to improve that. But our defense is looking good, and I feel really good coming into the tournament, and we'll see what happens. Like I've told the girls, like I've told multiple people, it's all about us right now. Like where our program is, it's about how we improve and how we respond. And if we continue to work hard, it's all about us. Win, loss, it matters. But at the same time, when you look at the bigger picture, we're trying to grow our program, and we're doing that from the youth up, implementing the same offenses, the same defenses, all the way down through JYBA, the same drills. So the girls are getting used to it. So when they walk in the gym, it'll be more fluent, and we'll be ready to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good to start down low, as always. No doubt about that. But you bring back 2 starters from last year, sophomore Alyssa Owens, junior Riley Kelly. What can we expect from them this season? And is there anyone we should be keeping our eye out for?
Well, I mean, both of them Riley struggled the first game. Alyssa played great. Alyssa got in foul trouble the second game, and Riley played great. So that's what I kind of expect to see from, those two. Just hopefully we can get them put together. Again, some newcomers. Again, we have a lot of newcomers that didn't play a ton of varsity. I would say our leader on the team this year is Ashley Phillips. She just does everything right. She's a great shooter, plays great defense, gets the girls going. Bailey Owens, she's 6'+", 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", probably the most athletic girl I've ever seen. Only her second year ever playing basketball since second grade. Tell you that girl has been playing before now. She'd probably be looking for a college scholarship, but it is what it is. She's a great volleyball player too. So,
Yes.
with her, Izzy Cruz is running our point. Let's see here. Who am I missing? Soleil Parker, Briley Strickland, Ava Wolf, Kelly Coombeer. I mean, all these girls have put in a ton of work. Claire Jasper, Megan Meeker. I mean, I can go on and on. Like, I feel like we're deep. We played Pittsburgh. We had 8 people score. They had 4 people score in the entire game. So that speaks testimony to our defense, and also speaks testimony to us moving the ball and multiple people able to score. So
Yeah, it's awesome. Great to hear. Great to hear. Next, we kind of go ahead and talk the play style. You guys went zone your first season. Now you switch to man. Why the switch on defense?
Well, again, like I said, that first year was me just trying to find out what navigation path we needed to take. We have athletic girls. We have some athletic. Oh, and I also forgot on the previous one, Iona Kroll. I can't forget her. She's very good, and I almost forgot her. But we have some very athletic girls, and even our posts are very athletic. Feel like man to man, we're better rebounding. We're able to put some pressure on the ball. A lot of teams like to play zone. I mean, at the end of the day, I think man to man is the best offense. With man to man concepts, you can apply them to zone. Like, we'll throw in a 1-3-1 still, just to kind of change up on some teams and stuff like that. But we're going to base off of man to man, and we're working extremely hard. And we're running man to man in our junior high and our youth and everybody. And hopefully it just continues to build up. Because at the end of the day, if you can pressure the ball full court, different stuff like that, it makes offenses harder to be fluent in. They have to start starting their offense up higher, which is they're not used to it. If you just are in a half court practice working your offense and you have no pressure, you can start it where you want it. But if we're starting to pressure the ball at half court, now they're having to start a little higher, and they get a little off tilt. So that's kind of our goal.
Awesome. All right. Lastly, fun one for you. How would you, as a former basketball player, describe you as a coach?
Well, that's an awfully good question. That's a tough one. I would say I try to be fun. I also, I want to lighten the mood a little bit. I want the girls to enjoy what they do. Like I've told a few people, at the end of the year, my girls hate playing basketball. I didn't do my job, and at the same time, I need to hold them accountable. So it's dancing that fine line. But if as a coach, I think I would love to play for me. You know what I mean? We have a lot of fun. We bring a lot of energy to practice. We try to make it a good, positive environment. We joke around a little bit. Girl, even in the Pittsburgh game, they were getting a little stressed. Third quarter, I made a little joke in our huddle, and, just a little inside joke with us and the team. And imagine some parents are like, "What in the world is he doing?" Then I'm just trying to get them to relax a little bit and go out there and play. But yeah, I would enjoy playing with me. I can be tough. I can be a barker. My bark's a lot worse than my bite is. They know I'm a big teddy bear at the end of the day, and that I love them all. And that's what's important to me, because if they know that, they're going to work extremely hard for me, and they'll run through a wall for me, and just like I would run through a wall for them.
Yeah. I mean, I've also noticed, going with that your girls like to TP you a lot. So
they awfully do, and fork my yard and draw on my truck, and it's pretty lighthearted, and I enjoy that. I don't enjoy picking it up. Actually, I make my kids do it. It's good for them. But at the end of the day, it's just that camaraderie that, they know they can come talk to me. They know they can joke around with me, but they also know when it's time to be serious, it's time to be serious.
Yeah.
And they know how serious I am about growing this program. And we've worked, not only myself, but middle school coaches, youth coaches, my high school coaches have worked extremely hard, and we put in so many hours, and it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Because this program has not been good for a long time. Like I said, I went back to 2005, and I haven't found one winning season for Joplin since 2005. And
No.
that it has to change, and it's going to take a lot of hard work. My girls know that, and they're willing to work hard with me, and I think that's what's important.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Good luck the rest of the season. Good luck in the tournament, and everybody stays healthy this year.
Amen. Please, fingers crossed.
Take care.
All right, thank you so much.
And we bring in Carl Junction boys basketball head coach, Mr. Justin Pock. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, talking a little bit there. I mean, we're both ready for the break for going into Christmas and stuff, and I don't blame you. I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah, it's just that time of year. It's just busy, and we're enjoying it, but it's just busy.
Yeah, absolutely. And busy indeed. As we'll go ahead and recap last season, 8-19. 7 of those losses were by 6 points, roughly. Your guys played their tails off in a few of the games I got to see, especially that one at the end of the season against Webb City in the final week. It was a phenomenal double overtime game. I'm sure you were proud, win or loss, of your boys there. But
Yeah.
I mean, few games in now, but to this season, where's the team's mindset this early and this young of a season?
I think we're pretty hungry. I think we're pretty excited about the year, and we have some young guys that played a lot of minutes for us last year, and they're kind of out to prove themselves this year. Got a couple guys that are getting some varsity experience for the first time, and I really like the team we have. I think we play for each other, and I think we really share the basketball. It can come from a lot of different places, and it's really an enjoyable team to coach.
Awesome. Y'all sit at 2-2, 2 big wins in that, a close loss, and then a big loss. We talked about kind of the goals and expectations there, the mindset. Y'all take on a decent team in Pittsburgh. What are your expectations for this game out of your guys? And do you kind of have the captains laid out yet, and what would you like to see from them if you do?
Yeah, I think we have a difficult one at Pittsburgh. They can really score the basketball. They have some really good players, and so you got your hands full. At least defense is going to have to be a priority. I think really we just need to come out there every night and play our game and get our guys going. And we have 3 good seniors. I got Jed Hocutt, Quinn Kennedy, Aiden Beechner, and they are good leaders for us on and off the court. And they're kind of surrounded by some younger guys they're pretty hungry and love to get out there and play a little basketball.
Yeah. And speaking to that, I mean, Beechner missed some significant time last year, hurt pretty much, would you say, all season, I would say?
Yeah, he missed the entire year last year right out of football. So
okay. And Quinn, I mean, which is great for you to get those 2 back, kind of be in sync there. But is there anyone else? Did you mention Wyatt there, right?
Jed Hocutt is our other senior, and he's our point guard. But yeah, I mean, Wyatt McAfee is, he just plays so hard, plays, every position you need him to, and he's just going to go as hard as he can. He doesn't know, he doesn't have another speed. I mean, it is just, he's going to go all out or not.
Yeah. And I mean, is he the one that we should keep an eye out for, or are there multiple others too?
I think there's multiple others. I mean, yeah, definitely you got to keep an eye on Wyatt, and he's done a really good job for us.
Yeah.
You got Cooper Vedix, who was all conference last year as a freshman on that 3rd team, and he's had a strong start to this year. But we have Brody Pant and Deacon Endicott who are stepping in. They're sophomores, and
Yeah.
they've had some good ball games, and they're playing really hard for us.
It's awesome. Now, kind of a bittersweet moment this year. Last year in the COC for you guys, it was announced you all will be departing for the new OMC. First, are you excited for the new journey? And then second, is there anything you'll miss about the COC?
I am kind of excited to see what that is going to look like for us, going to this new conference. It's still a very loaded and talented basketball conference. I mean, there's some really good teams in it. So I still feel like night in, night out. And we'll still play a lot of those COC schools. I mean, we'll still run into them, I think, at least. Webb and us we can never get away from each other. We're usually always in the same district, and that's a big game for us. And we play in the Kaminsky tournament, and the COC is a great conference. They made those decisions. I think it was more of a football decision, but we'll go with it. And really, what I tell our guys is, look, our schedule or conference, whoever it is, we're just going to play who's ever out on the floor, and we're going to go out there expecting to win, and we got to do the things that it takes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the COC is a great conference, and there's a lot of great coaches in it. I've had some friends in there and coaching, and I played in the COC a long time ago with Branson, but now Branson's coming with us to the OMC. So I think it's exciting. I think it's maybe time for a change, and we'll see how it goes.
I mean, kind of the running joke is you get a little bit of SEC feel out of this in the new COC because you got all these teams now, and then there's going to be two divisions. And I found it kind of funny because one of my buddies was like, "Yeah, so you mean the SEC of Missouri now? Yeah, that's what it's going to be called." And I'm like, "All right. I mean, it's the COC, but if you want to call it the SEC, I guess that makes sense."
It's loaded with teams and loaded with talent, and it's just expanding all the time, and it'd be fun to watch. I mean, it doesn't bother me not to have to play some of those schools, on a regular basis, but we won't back down from anybody. But we're excited for the new conference.
It's good. It's good. All right. Lastly, we have a fun one for you, and kind of a thinker. It's one that I'm going to be asking all the coaches this year when they come on. And how would you, as a former basketball player, describe you as a coach?
I think you can tell I'm passionate about it. I think you can tell that I put a lot into it, put a lot of effort into it. Hopefully, my guys know that I care about them on and off the court, and maybe too much. Maybe there are times they're like, "Oh man, Coach Poke again," checking in on me. But I always feel like once you're part of a basketball team, it's family. And I've always carried that with me. I've built a lot of friendships and connections through the game that I love. And I try to do the same thing with my players and make it about, you're playing for the guy next to you. And not only on the court, but for the rest of your life, hopefully that there's always someone you can count on.
Indeed. Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
And on that note, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the season. You guys, again, you have Pittsburgh tonight, Friday. It's gonna be one to watch. I hope you guys get a big audience. I feel like Pittsburgh usually has a pretty good crowd, and then you guys have a pretty decent crowd that travels too. So, and it's not too far from y'all.
No, it's not too bad. That's kind of nice thing about where we're at is you can play these games, and it's kind of neat to play someone out of state, and you go over there, they want to beat you and you want to beat them. and it's a good kind of measure, I think, for both teams to see how we look. So,
well, again, take care and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
On that, we head into the 2-minute warning brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria. Not feeling like cooking this weekend? Go grab some pizza by the slice over there, Wednesday through Saturday. And man, MSSU women's basketball in action. they'll be back next week at Central Missouri if they got it done, though, at home last night. 86-65 over UCO. And, yeah, I mean, that was a great game. Caitlin Honeycutt with 25 points. The men host the Newman Jets tomorrow at 3:30. Any predictions there, guys?
I mean, I would hope that we could beat Newman. Hopefully. Growing
Yeah.
up in because Newman just came into the NCAA. Like
They did.
just recently.
Yeah.
Are they bad?
They just were like they're just like a private school.
Yeah.
Like
They're like subpar. Like they're good enough.
Like
NAIA.
Lincoln?
Kinda. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Are they bad?
And then Joplin boys basketball, Carthage Invite, as well as Webb City boys and Carthage Neosho. Neosho's at the Battle of the Ridge, and CJ will be taking on Pittsburgh tonight. For times and brackets, check the team social media pages because all those started yesterday and they will be continuing through this weekend. On the girls' side, CJ, Joplin, Carthage, and the Lady Eagle Freeman Classic. Check social media pages for that as well because the brackets are moving along right now. We got a few games in progress as we go through this, and then Webb City will head to Shiloh Christian today. And for football, Chiefs take on the Bills. Who you got here?
Chiefs.
Let's go Bills on this one.
I mean, Josh Allen's struggling. Patrick Mahomes' receivers are struggling because Mahomes proved last week he could throw it, just no one to catch it. So, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting matchup. It depends on if the Chiefs defense shows up or the Bills defense shows up. So, I guess it really just comes down to defensive play there. Because we know the offenses are going to score. So, whoever can stop them from scoring.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'll say this. I definitely don't think the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL right now.
No, I'm starting to lean towards Baltimore. They're a silent killer this year.
Right. Which, according to the color scheme on the Super Bowl ad,
I mean, it very well could be. There's
it could be
purple.
Baltimore and San Francisco, right? Which I would say they're both probably the best teams in the NFL right now because they beat the Eagles last week.
Someone was trying to say the Vikings and the Chiefs, and I'm like, you're stretching that one because the Vikings ain't making it. Unless they somehow make a wild card.
Not now. Well, I think right now, if it ends right now, they make the wild card, don't they?
Yeah, somewhere in there. They're pretty close.
So, I mean, they're in the run-in.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Dobbs is performing fine.
Yeah, he's not doing terrible.
Yeah.
I like his story. He's fun. Talked about that a couple weeks ago. Yeah. But, all right, well, music's here. So is the end of another episode. Tony, Jensen, Clint, and myself, have a great weekend. Make sure you go get some Ghetto Tacos before your games this weekend, tournaments. They will not, I can let you in on this one, they will not be open. Well, they might be. I mean, they've got more staff now, but they are catering my brother's wedding, so they may not be open because, yeah, they're taking the big old food truck they just got and going over there. But Friday's 10% off burritos. You can get one this weekend, Taco Tuesday or Thirsty Thursdays, one free drink per entree. But yeah, on that note, guys, take care and see you next week on the Sports Timeout.
Bye, guys.